and it just got too much, and I suppose, failed at it. So if you're struggling, or you think you're failing, or you think it's not going as quickly as it should, know that you're not alone. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I wanted to talk to you about a slightly different perspective on this luxury love that I have on YouTube and what's been going on lately. I talked before on a video about burnout and about how everything is not always as it seems, and I talked about that on my channel Amelia Rose Talks. And one of the reasons I'm making this video is I have had a few messages from you guys about where that channel has gone. If you go to Amelia Rose Talks on YouTube now, you will not see any of the videos. They're all private. They are now all gone from the YouTube sphere. And on that channel I talked about business, I talked about finance, I talked about my financial journey, I talked about my financial background, and I also talked about what it's like to be successful from another person's perspective. What can actually be going on in the background whenever you look at a person and you think they're very successful, or you think that they basically have it all together, and what can be behind that. And one of the videos I spoke about was burnout, and about how one can appear to be all smiley and happy and everything is wonderful on YouTube, but there's a whole other world going on behind that. Now, a lot of you have asked me where those videos have gone, and the reality and the complete honest answer to that is I just can't keep up anymore. I can't keep up doing this channel, doing my business, running my business. I still work full time in my business. I work 9 to 5. Well, that's the minimum I work in my business and run my business. I also am married, happily, thankfully. I have 2 young children. I have 4 dogs. I have family. I have friends. So I have a lot going on. And the reality was that I just couldn't do it all. And I think that that's an important message to own. And I think it's important whenever you look at someone on the internet like myself, for example, and when I come on here and talk to you about handbags, especially on this channel, this is my happy place. I love talking about handbags. My real life work is very heavy and is very stressful, and there is a lot rides on it. So this is very much a very light escape for me. And when I go to my other job, it can have a completely different dynamic because it's so serious. Whereas this is fun, it's frivolous, it's pretty, it's just a complete and utter hoot for me. I really, really enjoy it. So that means when you see me on this channel, you will see me for the vast majority of times very light and bubbly and happy because I'm talking to you about my escapism. The reality is though, there can be a lot of heavier stuff going on behind that, and I have really been struggling lately. And one of the reasons that I've really been struggling is how my body deals with stress is through migraines. And I did put a post on my community post when I had to apologise almost, or let you know why I wasn't replying to comments on YouTube, because I try to reply to all of the comments I get. I kind of feel if you're good enough to take your time to watch my videos and to comment on them, that the least I can do is try and work through the comments. And it was weighing on me that I hadn't replied to any comments, and I explained on that post that I had been struggling with migraines. I'd been getting a lot of migraines, and I had to greatly reduce my screen time, because if anybody gets headaches or migraines, you'll know that looking at a phone and a screen or working on a computer just makes it worse, because it's like light and a drill and it's in your head and it's really, really painful. And the reality of my other job is I have to work on a computer for a big part of that, so I had to cut down my screen time and stop replying to comments for a while. And I put on that post and I got some really beautiful, lovely, supportive comments underneath it about how migraines can be. And I also got some suggestions from you guys about other medications or natural medications, which I've actually ordered, that may help with the migraines and help cope with them. But I wanted to just be honest and give you an insight of what the reality can be behind the pretty colours and behind the pretty bags. That it may look like I have my SH1T together and I have it all together, and I come on here and I talk to you about these handbags and I tell you that I can buy them and afford them because I have my business and I have different streams of income, and it all looks like it's a lovely big parcel tied up in a bow and everything's perfect. The reality behind that is it can be very, very difficult, and I don't want, one of the reasons I had the other channel was I wanted to give an open insight into what that can be like to manage that type of business and to manage all of those things, and how it can be very difficult, because I think that's real. And I know that with that channel being gone, that is no longer there, But the reality is I just couldn't keep up with it anymore. And that is something that I want to own, and I want to share with you about how difficult it can be in the background. Now, this is no way a pity party. I am not making this video for anybody to feel sorry for me. I have a great life. I love my life. I love the life that my husband and I have built for ourselves and our family. So this is in no way pity me. This is just have an open and honest look at what can be going on in the background, and how have you sometimes come on and look at these videos, because I have done it. I have watched videos from YouTubers and thought, oh my goodness, they have it all together. They have a business and they're thriving and they're obviously doing very well and they have a family and everything's together and it looks really easy. And that's something that I want to just say for me is not always the case. And it can sometimes come crashing down in the background, and I sometimes can look like everything is together on this screen, but behind it there is burnout and there are migraines, and there's migraines on top of migraines on top of migraines, and sometimes it gets to the point that I can't function. And lately I've been struggling with them to the point that there's been days when I've been trying to plough through work and I physically can't get my head up, or I have been vomiting, or my right eye goes very blurry and I can't see and I can't focus. And you could be talking to me about something that's very simple and that I know the answer to inside out and I can't figure it out. You could be asking me what is happening on a certain thing in the morning and I may know that inside out, but I can't process it and I can't figure it out in my mind and I can't answer you. And I'll have to say, you're going to have to ask me later. I don't know. And that's, for me, something that's very humbling, because in my position, in my business, generally when somebody comes to me for answers, I will have them. It's part of my role to have them. When I am forced to take a step back from that role and be more vulnerable and be more, suppose, burnt out and not coping and needing help from other people, it's humbling to say I can't even work that through at the minute and I can't even explain to you what that means. And migraines are something for me, and everybody copes with stress differently and everybody's body reacts differently, but migraines are something for me that just completely wipe me out at times. I will go through phases when they come, and if I take my medication and I can kind of manage it, I can kind of catch it on time, and I can kind of focus. I won't be at my best, I won't be 100%, but I can get through. Then there are other times whenever it's almost like somebody is just saying, stop. You need to pause and stop and take a break, and they will just keep coming. And no matter what I take, I can't get off the floor. I will literally be crawling on the floor with the pain, trying to get to the bathroom, trying to make it stop. I have at times fantasized about ripping my head off because they're so painful. And that is something that I live with, and it's something I've been struggling with lately, and it can impact on my ability to have a business, to have family life, to have this channel, to have the other channel. And it's one of the reasons why the second channel has had to go. I just can't keep up with it, and the content on that channel is a lot heavier than the lovely frivolous colours that we talk about over here. So when I was making or planning videos for that channel, it meant I had to draw on my work experience and business experience and finance experience and put those videos together, and it wasn't as much as an escape as what this channel can be, and it was almost an extension of work, and it just got too much, and I suppose failed at it. I suppose you could say, if you're looking at this, I failed at having a second channel because I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it. And I want to be open about that with you, because if you're going through anything like this, if you're trying to have a business, trying to get a side hustle, trying to manage everything, I don't want you to look at me and think, she has it all together and I don't know how she does it. I failed at it. I've had to stop it. I can't do it anymore because there's only so much of me, and there's only so much that I can focus on, and there's only so much that I have to give, and I simply couldn't do it anymore. And if that's a failure, I'm going to own that. One of my good friends here on YouTube, Deb from Wild Unfiltered, who has business experience, said to me, it's not a failure to accept that something's not working. It is being savvy to say, I can't do that anymore and I need to focus my energies somewhere else. And that is a way to look at it. And that is a way, I suppose, to put a better spin on it. But the reality is I just couldn't do it anymore. And I just want to let you know that there is a whole other side behind what looks glossy and tied up in a Chanel bow on this channel to running a business and managing all of those things, and sometimes the cracks come and it just falls apart. But I just want you to know that I may not have all of this together as much as it seems on this screen. And I do that because if you're in a position that you're trying to pull any of these things together, I want to be real and let you know that it can be very difficult and that you're not on your own. And I have burnt out before. One of the videos that was on my other channel was talking about the end of 2020, I think, or 2021, get my years mixed up, but I completely burnt out and I didn't make videos on the other channel at that point. I struggled in my work. I was working crazy hours. I got to the end of work coming up to Christmas and I literally collapsed. I just couldn't do it anymore. And I'm trying this time to make sure I don't get that far into the burnout and that far into the falling apart by taking steps a bit quicker and trying to realize it and trying to react to it before it happens. And why am I talking about this? I know this video has been quite chit-chatty and very different to our normal my top 5 handbags, but it's real. And I don't want to suddenly have none of that reality of business and finance life on my channel. Let me know if you want me to intersperse some finance business videos on this channel. It won't be as often or as many as was on the other channel, obviously, but if you still want some of that content, let me know and I can intersperse it in. But this has been very rambly, very chit-chatty. I don't even know if there's a purpose to this, but it just felt to me important to let you know that it's not all just as put together as it may seem. And I have been struggling to cope with everything lately and my migraines have been killing me. And there is another side to this. And I want anybody that's maybe starting out or trying to work a business or wondering how everything comes together to know that it might just not all be as easy as it seems or all as put together as it seems, or that you're looking at people that might look as if everything is just boxed up in that Chanel box and there's a whole lot going on behind the scenes. So if you're struggling and it's not all coming together easily for you, or if you're not able to go out and buy whatever handbag it is that you want from the new season, that you can see that you're not alone in that. And that a lot of the people you may watch, there's a whole other lot going on behind the scenes and it just might not be all as it seems on the internet. That social media has made it appear like a lot of things are very easily attainable and a lot of life is very lovely and pretty and it's Instagram. And I just wanted to maybe be a voice saying that it's maybe not all that it seems. So if you're struggling or you think you're failing or you think it's not going as quickly as it should, know that you're not alone and know that people you watch, like me, if I'm one of those, I struggle, I am struggling, I can't do it all, some things crack and fall apart, and maybe that will help you feel not so alone and not as if it's not all just coming together perfectly the way that you would want it to be. Thank you for watching this. I hope it's had some value to somebody. I know it's very different from the normal content that I put out on this channel. It's more fitting to the other channel, but as I say, couldn't keep up with both of them. I hope it's helped somebody. If it has, please do consider giving it a thumbs up and please do consider subscribing if you haven't yet. If you do want me to talk about any more business, finance type content, please let me know in the comment box. And if you're not done with me yet, but you would like some of my normal content and back to lovely pretty handbags, I'm going to leave another video on the screen for you to enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching me. Please take care and I will see you again in the next one.